Hey folks, welcome back. I just want to say first off and foremost that for those of you who have found my channel and have stuck with me, for those of you who have recently found my channel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I started a channel, and because I wanted to right some wrongs of some of these homestead channels that were given very, very misleading information about this lifestyle. And I started it because I said, no, you can't. It's not all sugar plums and spice and fluff. There's a lot of ugly that goes with homesteading. It's not easy. Some days it's just very overwhelming for some of us. So that's why I started this channel to begin with. There is a video that I'm going to make. I touched on my bathroom system here, and then Gather and Basket Homestead showed their bathroom system, and they went into more detail, which is absolutely fantastic. Folks, if you haven't checked out Gather and Basket Homestead, I highly suggest you do. If you like anything about my channel, they post more videos there. They go into more education than I do, and I just absolutely adore Gather and Basket Homestead. I am out here by the woodshed, so if I don't move, then the motion sensor outside light on the end of the woodshed will go off. That's just what happened. So if you haven't gone over to Gather and Basket Homestead, I've given them a few shout outs. Boy, I would highly recommend that you go over and check them out and post a comment. And you don't have to say where you learned about their channel. Just post a comment. And if you're interested in homestead lifestyle, off-grid lifestyle, in the older way of doing things, boy, I can tell you, that's the channel to follow. It really is. So, living off-grid, the way that I do, with no running water, with no electricity, no solar panels. I don't have a battery bank. I don't run my generator. I do have a generator. I don't run my generator to charge anything up here. My phone, I charge off a Jackery, and it's just a small 400 watt Jackery, and that gives me all the power that I need. So my cousin Shay, during the last hot spell, we're in a pretty good heat wave here for Maine. It got up close to 100 today. The feel like was well over 100. But my cousin Shay, who also lives off grid, but she does have solar panels and a battery bank. She after that last hot spell, she told me about a USB fan that you charge up. I've got 4 Muscovy ducklings that hatched out, so the geese are rather protective of them, even though the mama's there. So that's what you're hearing right there. So cousin Shay told me about this USB charged portable fan, and this I bought one after she told me. She gave real good reviews of it. This is the brand that I happen to buy. It's Bee Life, and it compacts pretty good. I probably can't do this. It has a nice little stand, and it telescopes I think about 3 feet, about like a yardstick. And not only does the stand go front and back, but also the fan, you can move it either front or back, angle it any way you want. I can tell you, one charge, folks, one full charge. If I'm out working in the heat like I was today, and it was so mercifully hot, I set this on the stand beside me when I come in for a break, and it's about 2 to 3 feet away. And this right here, this little fan here that cost about 30 bucks, has been a lifesaver. I've been living all these years through the summer when it's been so mercifully hot out and I'm doing hard physical activity. I could have used one of these a long time ago. And it has 3, you're probably not going to see that, but it has 4 modes. So it's whisper quiet. There's the first mode. Second mode. Third mode, which is too strong for me. And then the fourth one is like a natural, I gotta wave my arms. It's like a natural breeze. It'll go second power, and then it'll go down to whisper, less than the first power. And I don't use that. I don't use the high either. And then to shut it off, you just click the button again. So this has been a game changer, and it's been well worth the money already. So as I started to say, I touched on my bathroom system. It's the compost toilet, right? Watching Gather and Basket Homesteads. So I touched on my bathroom bucket a few videos ago. And Gather and Basket Homestead, they went more in depth with their system, showed their system. And I encourage them to use peat moss, because peat moss is what I am currently using. Now, I started out with sawdust because we have a sawmill here, and sawdust is quite abundant. So I started out with sawdust, and then I went to sawdust peat moss combination, and then everybody was raving. I had 2 or 3 people, and I reached out to another homestead channel and asked them what their thoughts were on cocoa coir. And they were pretty impressed with that, and they showed me where they got theirs. So I ordered some. It was 10 blocks for about 40 bucks. And I thought that was rather expensive. I said, well, maybe it goes quite a long ways. And I wasn't impressed with cocoa coir. I was impressed. But what happens when you don't have running water? You need water to moisten and break up the cocoa coir block, which is 1.4 pounds each. You put the cocoa coir block brick into a bucket, and then you have to add water. Well, I didn't know how much water, so I started with a half gallon, quickly learned that I needed to add more. And then once that expands, then you have to break it up, and then you use it in your compost toilet system. So I found that one brick lasted me about a week, and then I had to add water, which is hard to come by sometimes. So I've still got some left, and actually I think I got 1 brick left in the bathroom. And it's been sitting there for a few months. So I'm going to do a video on what I have tried. I've tried other things, folks. I've tried cover material as in compost, leaves, shredded leaves. I've tried all kinds of things. I'm trying to find something that I can gather up here in my yard or in the woods here that will make a good cover material for my compost bucket. So I'm going to do a video on what I have found that works the best, that is the most economical and easiest to access. But if it came a time when certain things you can't get certain things delivered to your door, like cocoa coir, or you can't go to your local farm store and get a big block of peat moss, and then you're gonna have to find something that you can use that's already in your yard, basically, right? So I'm gonna do another video on what I've tried, how it has worked, how long it lasts, and why I stopped using certain cover materials. I'll do that not today. Today is Monday. I didn't get home until 1. By the time I got done doing everything, it was about 3 o'clock, and I get up at 7 this morning. And that's with about an hour and a half's worth of sleep in 2 days. So I'm pretty tired. I want to make sure I talk about what I want to talk about for cover material in a compost toilet with a fresh brain. I still might stumble and fumble over my words, but that's just how it is with me. So some of you don't care. Some of you think I need speech therapy. Whatever. So I guess that's it. It is about 80, 81 degrees. Like I said, I get up to almost 100 today. The feel-like temperature was way over 100. My cousin Shay thought it broke a state of Maine record, but I don't know. I haven't researched that. All I know is it was hot. I hauled 70 gallons of water, and that 70 gallons of water watered 2 of my gardens, folks, right? So if you think living the way that I do, hauling your water from a bog, regardless if it is uphill on the return, which it is, 70 gallons of water is a lot of hard work when you're about 60 years old. And but that's the way that I choose to live. We could get some rain. There's a lot of you in a drought right now. I don't know when the last time that we had rain here, but it's been quite a while. My garden, my lawn here that I mow, I haven't had to mow. I haven't had to mow in quite a few days because everything is brown. The grass is brown. It's crunching under my feet, and the fire hazard is pretty high, folks. So we got to be pretty smart, pretty mindful, pay attention. And I was telling Kate Homestead and Krista at Almost Off-Grid Grandma that a rain dance, if I thought for sure a rain dance would work, I would certainly do one. And I don't think I'll be as fancy as Ernie at Ernie's Cabin, but for rain dance, if it works, I don't care if I had to stand on my head, I would do it, folks. So we need rain. Give this poor tired body a break from hauling 70 gallons of water a day just to only water 2 gardens. 2, that's it, 2. My other ones are doing pretty good because they're established gardens and they've been amended pretty good over the years, and they hold the moisture a whole lot better. But there's 2 gardens that drink a lot of water, folks, so there's a lot of amending that I've got to do another year for in preparation for a drought next year, right? So y'all be good. And if you're not already over to Gathering Basket Homestead, please go over and say a hello. Consider subscribing to that channel. They're doing really good. They're really good at showing how they live, explaining this and that, what they are doing and why they are doing it, and they're pretty good people from what I gather. One day I will meet them. They're from my hometown, actually. Not this town that I'm living, but where I grew up. They're from my hometown. So give them a hello. And if you want to watch the IP in a bucket, a few videos down that I did that touched on my bathroom compost system, and then go over to Gather and Basket Homestead, and I can't remember what the name of their video is, something about compost toilet, frugal living, and watch their video. It'll help you understand why I'm making a video further explaining what I have tried and what I will never do again, and what's not worth it and what's worth it as far as my cover material for my compost bucket. It'll just help give you a better understanding when I do put that video out, which I hope it's tomorrow or at least this week. So y'all be good. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the nice comments. If it ever came to be that I get a chance to, boy, the mosquitoes are lively. Get a chance to meet a lot of you. I hope I do. And if you ever see me out in the community, and please come up to me and let me know who you are. Just remember that I've got an identical twin sister. So if you see someone that looks like me and you go up and start talking, ask them if they're hippie chick, because that might be my twin sister. Bye-bye.